Oh. CPI data is in and it should be a green week. Bitcoin going up to $54,000 by April of 2024. Brazil CBDC can reduce your balance. Odd. Nvidia silently begins shipping revised RTX 40 series. I found the fix for the S19 Jpro Plus 120 terahash low power mode, and Kaspa hits a new hash rate all-time high, along with a release of a new LoLMiner. Let's go ahead and get into this episode of Blocks. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, hit the like, comment, and subscribe, and notification bells down below. According to the latest data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, inflation in the United States has fallen to 3% below the expected levels. This is definitely a positive trend, as it shows a steady decrease from the previous month's rate of 4% and even 4.9% in April. Many experts have been closely watching the inflation rate, as it has a significant impact on the economy and people's spending habits. Now, the big question is how the Federal Reserve, or the Fed, will react to these numbers. As you may know, the Fed has been gradually increasing interest rates since March of 2022, with 10 consecutive adjustments. They have brought the benchmark federal funds rate to a target range of 5 to 5.25%. But with the decline in inflation, the Fed's reaction remains uncertain. Will they choose to increase interest rates further, or will they take alternative measures to manage the situation? It's definitely an important decision that will have far-reaching consequences. Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America, recently expressed his belief that the United States may achieve its inflation target of 2% by 2025. This is an optimistic projection considering the current rate of 3%. Additionally, the Federal Reserve's current projections suggest that inflation in 2025 could be around 2.1%, which could be a significant decrease from the current rate. It will be interesting to see how the Fed navigates these numbers and whether their actions will align with these projections. The inflation rate is a key factor that affects the cost of living, investment strategies, and overall economic stability. Berenberg, the investment bank, has just raised its Bitcoin price forecast for April of 2024 to an impressive $56,630. That's almost double the current price. According to analysts at Berenberg, this increase is supported by several factors. First, they anticipate improved sentiment in the market, driven by the upcoming Bitcoin halving expected to take place in April of 2024. This event has historically led to significant price appreciation. Additionally, large institutions have shown great interest in Bitcoin, which further contributes to the positive outlook. But that's not all. Berenberg also reiterated its buy rating on the stock of MicroStrategy, a business intelligence software developer that has made substantial investments in Bitcoin. The bank even raised its share price target for MicroStrategy from $430 to $510, citing a higher estimate of the value of the Bitcoin company's holdings, or the Bitcoin holdings of the company, and an improved forecast for the value of its software business. Berenberg specifically raised its estimate for the value of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin holdings in April 2024 from $6.27 billion to $8.74 billion. They also increased the estimate for the value of the company's software business to $1.37 billion from $859 million. All of these factors combined for an exciting prospect for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy investors. So if you're looking to invest or already hold Bitcoin or MicroStrategy stock, this could be a promising time for you. Remember though, always do your own research and consult with financial advisors before making any investment decisions. Brazil's CBDC, central bank digital currency pilot, contains code that can freeze or reduce funds, Dev claims. A blockchain developer who claims to have reverse engineered the source code of Brazil's pilot central bank digital currency has discovered functions in the code that would allow a central authority to freeze funds or reduce balances. He has since argued, however, that there might be situations that such functions could be beneficial. On July 6th, the source code of the digital Brazilian real pilot project was posted on GitHub portal by Brazil's central bank. It was explained at the press stress time that the pilot project is intended for use only in a test environment and that the quote presented architecture end quote may be subject to additional changes. Pedro Magalhães, a blockchain developer and founder of tech consulting firm Laura Labs, later that day claimed to have been able to reverse engineer the open source code of Banco Central do Brasil's digital real, revealing functions in the code. The functions included freezing and unfreezing accounts, increasing and decreasing balances, moving currency from one address to another, and creating or burning digital real from a specific address. Magalhães told Cointelegraph that Brazil's central bank would probably maintain these functions for secured loans and other financial operations based on decentralized finance protocols. The problem, Magalhães explained, is that the code lacks specifically about the circumstances under which the tokens can be frozen, and above all, who holds the power to execute them. Quote, these aspects should always be exposed in the small contracts publicly and discussed with the population, which hasn't been done yet, end quote, he added. Many in the cryptocurrency community have raised concerns that CBDC has the potential to infringe on their financial freedom and encroach on their privacy. In a July 10th post, Magalhães said, while Brazilians' concerns about a CBDC are understandable, it may offer some benefits. He explained that taxes would be more easily traceable, enabling the public to inspect which resources tax funds are allocated to, in addition to inspecting purchases made by the state on-chain and strengthening transparency in parliamentary amendments. In July of 2022, Fabio Araujo, an economist at the Brazilian Central Bank, explained that the digital real has the potential to halt bank runs and looks to provide entrepreneurs with a more safe and reliable environment to innovate. The digital real pilot is reportedly running on Hyperledger Besu, a privately operated Ethereum virtual machine compatible blockchain. Because it isn't permissionless like the Bitcoin or Ethereum mainnets, users will need the central bank's approval to become a node, Magalhães stated on July 7th. I have some exciting news for you all, tech enthusiasts out there. It seems that NVIDIA is making some updates to their Founder Edition cards, specifically with a new power connector designed for the RTX 4090 Founders Edition. While we don't have all the details just yet, it has been discovered that NVIDIA has already implemented this new connector on their 4070 and 4070 Ti cards, which belong to the 40 series. However, it's important to note that this may not be the complete implementation of the new 12V2X6 connector. Interestingly, the existence of this new design was brought to our attention after reports of NVIDIA working on a new connector surfaced. One notable change in the new design is the inclusion of shorter sense pins. These pins have been reduced in length, effectively preventing the GPU from communicating with the power supply for higher wattage unless the cable is fully inserted. This modification is crucial as it helps to avoid situations where high power is forced through a cable that is not fully seated. This has the potential to cause issues such as melting or other electrical problems. So by incorporating these shortened sense pins, NVIDIA aims to reduce the likelihood of the connector operating in unsupported conditions. Now here's the exciting part. Recent reports suggested that NVIDIA has also implemented this new connector design in their anticipated RTX 4090 Founders Edition. This GPU will be the first desktop graphics card of its generation to feature the 12 plus 4 pin design. Overall, this update in the power connector design showcases NVIDIA's commitment to improving their products and ensuring a safer and more efficient experience for the users. As more information becomes available, we'll keep you updated on any further developments. Less discussion issue that has been well documented with the Antminer S19 Jpro Plus 120 terahash in low power mode, thanks to Twitter user Altair. I'll have him linked down in the description below. It appears that instead of the expected hash rate of approximately 94 terahash a second, the miner is running at an abnormal hash rate of 55 to 84 terahash a second in low power mode. Now, I know many of you have been encountering this problem, so I wanted to address it and provide some potential solutions. One reported solution is swapping the CB to the Epic UMC. This workaround has reportedly helped some users get closer to the expected hash rate. However, I must clarify that this solution may not work for everyone, and it's important to exercise caution when making any hardware changes. On top of that, the Epic control boards are pretty hard to get a hold of right now. On a positive note, there is some good news. The issue has been fixed with a recent firmware update. One user reached out to Bitmain support about the abnormal low power mode hash rate issue with the S19 Jpro Plus model, and they were provided with a new firmware that resolved the problem. Unfortunately, the updated firmware is not yet available for download on Bitmain's website. However, in the links down below, the original poster of Altair did link a firmware for everyone to a OneDrive link. Please verify and do not trust it, and scan with appropriate antivirus applications. According to the reports, though, the new firmware delivers a hash rate of 98 terahash a second with a power consumption of 2350 watts. That is resulting in efficiency of 24 joules per terahash. Pretty awesome stuff. It's quite impressive and should help address the low power mode issue many have been experiencing. Please keep in mind that firmware updates should be approached with caution. Make sure to follow the instructions provided by Bitmain carefully and ensure that you have a backup of your existing firmware before proceeding. The Kaspa network hash rate has hit a new all-time high at 1.7 petahash a second in the past 24 hours. Most of this hash rate appears to be coming from the new batches of Ice River ASICs, as it is coming through the supported Kaspa-pool.org pool. This has also reduced the amount of solo mining down to 20% of the network, which is a drop from 80% since the introduction of ASICs from Ice River. While the security from a total hash rate perspective has increased, the decentralization has been significantly decreased. It could also be argued that until other ASIC competitors enter the market, Ice River controls the Kaspa network. This should be alleviated as the Bitmain ASICs are deployed. However, we are already seeing delays on the Bitmain website as shipping of the first batch was pushed back from August to now pending between August and September. Let's dive right in and discuss the fixes that have been implemented in LoLMiner version 1.76a. First off, there was a bug that was causing some issues with split pool connections for ZIL mining ever since the epoch change. But fret not, because the developers have squashed that bug, and now your mining ZIL with split pool connections should be back up and running smoothly. Another bug that has been fixed in this update is related to ZIL DAG cache on NVIDIA GPUs. Some miners were experiencing difficulties with this feature after the epoch change. However, the developers of LoLMiner have worked their magic once again and resolved the bug. Now ZIL DAG caching on NVIDIA GPUs should be functioning flawlessly. Lastly, there was a bug specific to AMD GPUs when mining ETC plus ZIL. It was causing a defective ZIL DAG to be created. But as always, the developers have come to the rescue and tackled this bug as well. So if you're mining Ethereum Classic with Zilliqa with AMD GPUs, you won't have to worry about any defective ZIL DAGs anymore. It's great to see that the LoLMiner team remains committed to improving their software and providing miners with a smooth and efficient experience. If you're already using LoLMiner for your crypto mining endeavors, it's highly recommended to update to the latest version 1.76a in order to take advantage of these bug fixes. That's it for the video, sons. I hope you found these updates informative and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting content related to cryptocurrency mining and tech updates. Happy mining, and I'll see you next Tuesday. To wrap things up, of course, don't forget, I have my crypto mining e-course for sale at sonofatech.com. It helps support the channel and has a ton of good information coming up running into this next bull run. I think it's very relevant too. As well as if you want my daily moves, please check out sonofatech.locals.com.